Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Matt. Today we are doing a pick a card reading. The theme for today is what blessings are coming your way. I really like this reading because no matter what messages come through, it's always going to be spun in a more positive way for your upliftment. So, as always, these are general messages. Only take the messages that apply to your situation and always go by your own intuition. I will have information about personal readings down in the description. I'm excited to connect. And yeah, so let's just take a moment and synchronize our energies together. We are just going to be still and breathe and tune in. And we're connecting our energies on the higher quantum level. Okay, so for our pile number 1 today, we have the True Black Tarot with the Rose Quartz. Pile number 2 is the Psychic Tarot with the Clear Quartz. Pile number 3, we have the Pulp Tarot with the Angelite Stone. So you can pause the video or just take a moment to make your selection. Of course, you can choose more than one pile, or none of the messages may resonate. There's always other videos, other readings to check out. But without further ado, let's begin. Hi, pile 1. So you chose the Rose Quartz Stone here with the True Black Tarot. So before we pull from the tarot, we are going to pull from the Prism Oracle here and just sort of set the tone for what blessings are coming your way. Right away, I was getting an image of like tigers or big cats, like jungle cats. So that might be a symbol or sign for some of you. But the tiger definitely makes me think of power and sort of like a primal instincts. But let's see what wants to come through first for my pile number 1. Okay. We have the Intuition card. So funny how I was picking up on primal instincts with the tiger, and we have the Intuition card here. So you may be tapping into deeper layers of your own intuition at this time. It just feels like something deep within you is being activated and stirred, and when people and situations come into your field of awareness, you're very quick to I want to say judge it, not in a judgmental way, but in a discerning way. You have good judgment. And it's coming from the body, not necessarily your mind space. So because today we're talking about the blessings coming into your life, we are... Sorry about that, pile 1. It's interesting because right before I paused the video, I just had a feeling that there was going to be some environmental distraction noise, and as soon as I paused the video, there were like sirens outside blaring, like there was someone else in my environment making some noise, and this is interesting because I had that feeling to pause the video before all of it happened, and I had to wait a minute. So this is connected with your intuition and that instinct that I'm tapping into for you. Pay attention to your gut feelings at this time. This can be regarding people in your life, your environment, things, actions that you might be thinking about taking that might be the right choice, and trust that to take that leap. Or if you're feeling like maybe patterns or behaviors that you're engaging in aren't for your benefit. It's like trust that instinct. I'm not talking about the mind space, although your mind is a tool that can help you interpret your gut feelings and your intuition. But I'm mainly talking about here your body, the way that your body is speaking to you. That's the primal, rooted, earthy energy, like the tiger. The tiger doesn't have that logical thinking brain that we do. It doesn't have reason the same way that we do. It's operating from that instinctual, physical, deep, primal, animalistic sense of intuition. So this is coming through for you heavily right now. We'll see more about what this is about, but let's see what else wants to come through. I'm seeing fish. I'm seeing a goldfish in a fish bowl swimming around and around. That might mean something for somebody. To me, that can talk about feeling trapped and stuck in a loop. Maybe wanting to, looking out looking out from the inside. I think you know what phrase I'm trying to get at here. Outside looking in. No, that's not quite it. You know what I mean, I think. But yeah, just this feeling of being in a bubble and maybe needing to get outside of that bubble, and maybe your intuition right now is guiding you to kind of break the loop somehow. So just pay attention to that. I'm going to put this at the top here, and we're going to pull from the True Black Tarot and see what other blessings are coming your way, or see what blessings in general are coming your way. Again, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates with you, okay? There's no need to make anything fit, unless it does fit naturally. So, for my pile number 1, God, what blessings are coming into my pile number 1's life imminently as they watch this? What are they currently aligned with as far as blessings? So, the first 2 cards out we have are the 5 of Cups. We have the 8 of Pentacles. So we'll see what this is about. But again, this is blessings. So no matter what cards come out, there's going to be a positive spin. For my pile number 1, blessings coming into their life. We have the King of Wands. God, for my pile number 1. God, for my pile number 1, blessings coming into their life. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. We have the 7 of Wands. Oops. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So it's interesting that with the intuition card and the primal instincts energy coming through, that we have a lot of this protection energy here with the 7 of Wands showing up and the 4 of Pentacles. These are both protective, defensive energies. So it feels like you're stepping into a space of empowerment with the King of Wands here. You're stepping more into your fire, into your passion, into your strength, into your confidence, your self-worth, whereas you're now protecting your energy. Maybe before, you experienced sort of these shattering moments with people, relationships. The cups here, this is emotional. So generally we'll be talking about like emotional connections we've had with people, where we've invested our emotions, right? So you could have had some shattering experiences in the past, because you were sort of maybe giving away your energy, or you didn't have that protection, those protection measures in place. So you ended up kind of getting hurt. And let's see here with this is the Eight of Pentacles. So it feels like going through sort of difficult experiences with people, you've really had to learn how to work on yourself, building yourself. Maybe it's, Eight of Pentacles can talk about a repetitive sort of energy over time. So maybe you've gone through a number of sort of disappointing situations where, maybe you thought that something was wrong with you. Maybe you thought you were the problem, or you thought that the universe had something against you, or maybe you were constantly blaming others around you. This is just for some of you. Take it as it resonates, of course. But just what I'm seeing here is sort of like a series of disappointment, with situations and connections, and it's taken sort of time for you to develop this inner strength here and this inner fire, to sort of ignite your sense of self-worth, with the yellow showing up here, solar plexus energy, your sense of empowerment, stability within yourself, worthiness, your relationships. And so it's taken this process for you to be like, no more. I'm standing up for myself. The Seven of Wands is about standing up for yourself, standing up for what's right, putting your foot down and saying, no, I'm worthy. Seven of Wands, the person in question, you in this case, you're on higher ground than sort of the conflicting energies beneath you. And so you're just sort of like staving off the negative energies. And instead of like, freely giving away your energy to whoever sort of wants to use it, abuse it, whatever. And again, all of these energies are based around your mindset and your relationship with the world, right? And your childhood conditioning, programming. This is just based on, if this reading is resonating, where you've been coming from. And in those cases, it is important to sort of keep the negative energy at bay and pull back your energy and protect it here. With the Four of Pentacles, it's holding on to resources, your own resources. Maybe this is literally talking about money for some of you, but just in the overall energy that I'm feeling, I feel like it's more about protecting your energy. And this is a transformational process and evolution that you're in right now with the butterflies showing up here. It looks like some of the butterflies might be getting caught in the web here. So maybe this transformation has not been easy and you've had to sort of be on the defensive from certain people and situations for a while now. So maybe you feel like the evolution has been stalled a few times, and there might be a feeling of like, oh man, I'm just now learning this. But it's never too late to learn how to honor your own sacred energy, because it's powerful, your energy. You have a flame, a divine flame within, that is, ready to flourish and thrive and be felt and seen and experienced and honored. So if you feel like you might be in a defensive place right now, this is coming from an instinctual energy deep within, which comes from God. So that's God communicating with you. You need space. You need to protect yourself. 11:11 on the timer just now. This protection is important. If you've been questioning, like, oh, am I pushing people away? Oh, am I doing the wrong thing? Oh, am I being selfish? No, this is coming from a very authentic protection mechanism that your intuition, your guides, your higher self is activating within you so that you can begin attracting better energy, right? Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Maybe there is some heavy emotion that you need to process as you protect your energy and create those boundaries. Maybe you sort of need to let an emotional part of yourself shatter and break a little bit and just, spill out, so that you can process everything and release everything, and so that you don't move through your life moving forward with sort of this chip on your shoulder, or this feeling that the world's against you, or that people are against you, or that people are always going to hurt you, because that's simply a program that you can undo or uninstall from the system. That's not reality. That doesn't have to be reality. But at the same time, if that had been your reality up to this point, you still have to feel everything so that you can just validate it, honor yourself, and then move on to the next thing, because you don't want to keep going through those cycles with people and just life in general. Okay, so I do want to pull more cards. I'm actually gonna get another deck, and we're just gonna use my holographic Rider-Waite to expand upon this and get more info about the blessings coming into your life. But I will say that the energy of protection and boundaries is a huge blessing, because boundaries is one of the most challenging and important lessons that anybody can learn in this life, especially if you're an empath, if you're intuitive, if you're emotional, if you're a giver. A lot of people who come to view tarot readings are emotional givers. A lot of us tend to fall into more of the feminine energy. Not everybody, but a lot of us. And that feminine energy loves to nurture and give. But it's mandatory, critical that someone who leans more in the feminine has that balance of the masculine energy to enforce boundaries and protection, or else that feminine energy is just sort of going to get overtaken, because we have a natural tendency to want to surrender and submit and flow. But if we're not doing that with safe energies, with safe people, then of course we're going to get hurt and disappointed and feel shattered. Maybe our expectations of, other people's response to us surrendering and giving and being emotionally available, maybe because we haven't had that discernment that, we think that this is just how people are, when really it's just we're allowing a certain type of energy into our energy space. And, maybe it's not always the healthiest, but we're learning, right? We're learning. And we're following our intuition, because our intuition's strong. We can trust it. So, okay, God, for my pile number 1, what blessings are coming in for my pile number 1, God, for the highest good of my pile number 1 and the collective, from the highest white light of truth and love? Okay, interesting with the masculine energy coming through. We have the Emperor, more like solidity, firmness, boundaries, knowing oneself, being empowered with that solar plexus energy. That fire with the King of Wands showing up earlier, that's Aries energy. This is an Aries card. Interesting. I'm liking the power that's coming through your reading. My pile number 1, what blessings are coming in imminently for them? Oops. What blessings are coming in for my pile number 1, God? Oh, we have the Page of Cups. It's a sweet energy. Let's see what else. Paint me a picture, God, for pile number 1. What blessings are showing up in their life? Okay, well, I'm going to take these 3. We have the 6 of Swords. We have the Strength card. Big cat energy showing up here. And let me just do this. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles, once again, confirming that protective, holding on to your own energy kind of message coming through. So, again, strength showing up. This is cool. This is cool. So, this is talking about that sweet energy that you have that wants to give, that wants to offer itself to others, that wants to be of service, that wants to help. It's coming from a very sweet, innocent place. And this is a healing card, the 6 of Swords. So you are currently healing this energy. You are moving through some of the pain that, you naturally being in this energy. I don't want to say you being in this energy has caused the pain, because it hasn't. It's just been sort of circumstantial energy that just has not supported and uplifted this energy that you're moving away from. And the reason why we experience that energy that does not hold space for this, that cannot give back to this in a reciprocal way, is so that we learn boundaries. That's literally it. It's all to teach us as empaths, this is me and this is you. I have to honor me before I can honor you. Because if I do not honor me and I'm honoring you, then there's really no point to any of this, because there isn't a mutual exchange. It's not balanced in the exchange. And the universe is all about balance, right? So if we're living in a way that's out of balance, if we're giving too much of our energy, then the universe is going to use any means necessary to bring us back into balance. And sometimes that involves pain and disappointment. But you seeing this reading is because it's confirmational of something that you're already sort of feeling. You're getting more in touch with the fact that you don't have to live this way anymore. You can still be in your beautiful, sweet, loving energy and not have to deal with the bullshit, other people's bullshit, other people's shadow, other people's pain sort of siphoning and draining your energy. You're moving away from that. You're moving away from chaos, from overthinking, from disappointment. You're moving into stiller waters, in a better direction. So that's really nice. Huge blessing. And it feels like, whether you're currently tapping into your masculine energy more, or this is kind of showing up around you, you're kind of tuning into that energy. Maybe you're appreciating that masculine stability in others around you, or on other people online. But it's definitely something that you're starting to appreciate and admire, and understand that exists. A healthy masculinity is out there. Masculinity in itself is not toxic. People talk about toxic masculinity, but there's a toxic femininity too, and that's where, when you're kind of allowing anybody to sort of come in and trample over your garden, that's imbalanced, that's toxic femininity. You know, we need to understand that masculinity is meant, in its healthy, coherent state, is meant to come in to support this energy. You know, true masculinity comes in to protect that which is innocent and pure and sweet. And if you are like a feminine, you know, calling in a masculine energy in your life, then you have to know that that masculine energy that is right for you is grounded, stable in itself, knows itself, understands and appreciates the value in innocence and sweetness and emotional availability. They can see very clearly the value of that. So I think this coming into your awareness that this exists is allowing you to feel a sense of strength within yourself and feel a little safer inviting that in. But first you have to provide that for yourself. So I think that this is where you're kind of starting to tune into that energy of your own inner strength, your power. You know, if you have to say something to stand up for yourself, then you'll have the courage to do that. You're not going to fall for sort of fake masculine energies that just sort of want to take. You're going to say no to that. You're going to say no to energies that cannot give you in equal measure what you have to give as well. So yes, just back again to the protection energy. You're protecting your gold, and your gold is who you are. You're not going to let somebody else compromise that anymore, and you're not going to let somebody else let you compromise that anymore, because it always comes back to you. You know, we all at some point learn radical self-responsibility. We can't always project blame onto other people outside of ourselves. We have to take that responsibility for ourselves. So I think it seems like this is what you're starting to do right now, which is incredible. And, you know, it's interesting because like when you watch a video, a tarot reading about blessings coming in, a lot of people, you know, want to hear about the money and the fame and the, you know, success coming in, kind of thinking that it's one thing, but this is all talking about that internal success, that internal abundance that you're creating, just with this shift in mindset, this shift in your sense of worth, the following of your intuition. So it's really powerful. It's operating from the inside, working its way out, and that's where the outside reality shifts. So now let's see here. I do want to pull from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck for you. God, for my pile number one, what blessings are coming into their life? Blessings coming into the life of my pile number one. Okay. So we have Shock of the New. So this card talks about that shift in your frequency, in your consciousness, in the way that you think and behave, and how that shifts everything around you, and it's very new. This new way of being might feel different, maybe slightly uncomfortable at times, but I think it's just you reframing your own concept of self and sort of being surprised by your own power, to be quite honest. I think as you're coming into your power, as you're integrating this more masculine energy and presence, calling that forth, I think it surprises you wow, I can protect myself. Wow, I can trust my intuition and say no to something. I can push someone away if they're not serving my highest good. I don't have to chase or hope or pine for somebody else to be the savior. I can be that for myself. I think this is just a very new experience for you. And that's incredible. It's interesting with the music showing up here. Music might be significant in your life right now. Maybe you're shifting the type of music that you're listening to. Maybe you're surprising yourself by the types of music that you're listening to. Music that's more empowering, or music that's tapping into a different part of yourself that you weren't in touch with before. With the sacred geometry showing up at the throat center here, you might be speaking in a way with other people or expressing yourself in a way that is new and exciting and surprising and really affirming that you are changing. That's what this feels like. It's like you're noticing and observing your own behaviors, your own thought patterns, and your own interactions with people, the way that you handle and respond to different situations. I feel like this is, when you're noticing this, and it's sort of confirming that you are powerful and worthy. It's incredible. Let's see what else here. And yeah, again, you just have to know that this is all divine. This is you. You are an expression of the divine, and you are the divine coming through in your physical incarnation and saying, this is what is true. This is what is right for this expression of God. And it must be honored and respected and valued. This energy is coming through you now. I must be valued. And so I will block out anything that is not valuing my gifts, my existence, my presence. I mean, and it feels like you're with the sunflowers here. Sunflowers always face the sun. So it feels like you're tapping into this part of you that knows that you have to face the direction of your evolution. You have to face the light. You can't feed these sort of wounded energies that you've been around anymore. It's time to face the path of light. You're understanding this now. It's very powerful. It's a big integration. It's going to change everything. It's going to change your reality completely. And this is something for you to honor and respect within yourself. Give yourself a huge pat on the back. Give yourself a hug. Just really respect this process that you're going through. Because not everybody can do this. I'm telling you right now, not everybody can do this. More and more of us are doing this now because more and more of us are waking up to the truth, to our truth, to who we really are, to the divine, to the 5D consciousness that is, growing and expanding on this planet right now. And you're one of the ones who can say, hey, there's a different way of being. You have so many gifts to offer the world, the people around you, through this new understanding of the self and the universe that you're coming into right now. I feel very proud of you. I can feel Spirit's pride for you and this congratulatory energy. Boundaries are difficult, Spirit is saying, but it's you're doing it. This is hard work for some people, and you really deserve to be recognized for this work that you're doing. Seriously, it's not to be taken lightly. So, okay, now we're going to pull from the Angel Answers Oracle deck. and get a final message for you about the blessings coming into your life. Because we're just looking at general energies, there are many blessings that will be coming into your life, but what I'm relaying right now as far as the energy is sort of the core fundamental energies that you are shifting that will bring in the rest of the blessings, because it's a domino effect, it's a snowball effect, it's not just one thing, right? And my readings touch on core energies, root energies. I tend not to focus as much on like, the perfect partner. I mean, soulmate relationships are important. Abundance is important, but I tend not to focus on the physical things because those things just naturally come as a byproduct of working on the root energies within ourselves. And those are the most difficult to access for many people because they're under layers and layers of all the 3D stuff that we get distracted by. So this is big. This is big for you. And you need to be recognized and appreciated for it. So I really appreciate you for doing this work. Okay, so final message for my pile number 1, God. The blessings coming in for them. The blessings coming in. I'm getting more of that fiery energy. So something is being activated, fired up, ignited within you. Power, fire energy is creative energy. So, and because we're talking about intuition here, using your creativity is using your intuition. If you're an artist, if you're a business person, you're always using your intuition. It's always there supporting you in your vision. In creating the new. Okay. Funny, we have the no exclamation point card here. So that's that boundary coming up for you. This is that powerful no energy. People underestimate the power of no, a firm no. I will not entertain that energy anymore. I saw 33 on the timer just now. I will not entertain energies that drain me, that push me in the wrong direction, that do not support the version of myself that I know I can become. This is powerful, powerful, powerful. And this is led by the divine here. Your no is divinely guided. And it's okay. You have to know that it's okay. It's okay to be fiery in your approach to somebody else coming at you the wrong way. Or it's okay for you to put your foot down even just with yourself and say, no, I am not engaging in this behavior anymore. I am not going to subject myself to icky energies that aren't worthy of me. I mean, gosh, this is so affirmational of what we've been saying. And if I were you, I would look up tiger energy, look up tiger spiritual meaning, and see if you connect with that. Some of you might even want to look up tiger videos on YouTube to connect with the energy, the powerful energy of the tiger. Yeah. Going out into nature is going to be helpful for you as well. It's going to help you process the emotions, maybe pain, resentment that's built up. It's going to help you kind of cycle that out. But you have to just be with it temporarily, right? But being amongst trees feels good. Tigers walk amongst the trees in the jungle. So that feels like a connection there. Yeah. These are the messages that I have for you today. I will be doing more of the blessings coming in videos because I really like that. But right now, this is the frequency that you're connecting with. And it's amazing. So thank you so much for joining me again. If you're coming back or if you're new, thank you so much for connecting with me. I hope you stick around, and feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2. So you chose the clear quartz point here with the Psychic Tarot. So today we're going to be asking about blessings coming into your life imminently as you are watching this video. So to get us started, we're going to pull from the Prism Oracle deck and just sort of set the tone with an initial card. So, okay, well that wanted to come out right away. So we have the Trust card. So it's funny because before I started shuffling, as I was tuning into your pile, I was getting a sort of watery energy, and water is the emotional space, and we have the heart here. So this is your heart center. Whenever I look at this card, I see all the kind of barriers around the heart, sort of like a maze almost. And it can talk about like the guards that we have around our heart, right? And maybe the access or inaccess that other people have or don't have to our heart. Depending on where you are in your healing journey, it can be better to protect the heart space, or it can be better to let the guard down and let people in. With the Trust card showing up here, though, it definitely feels like trusting that energy, that exchange between other people who are coming from a good-natured place. It feels like let people in is sort of the energy coming through, which is very different than pile 1. So this feels, and because I was picking up on that watery energy, that's more of that flow and that feminine, receptive, connective, emotional energy. So this definitely feels like a blessing for you is trusting the connections that are coming in, trusting your path, trusting yourself, trusting your own boundaries and discernment, and trusting that everything is working out and that you're being guided in the right direction. So let's see here with the Psychic Tarot. For my pile number 2, God, what blessings are coming into my pile number 2's life imminently as they are watching this video? Okay, first out, wow, we have Harmony. So talking about trusting those connections that are coming in. This is the Lover's card in traditional tarot. So I'm feeling this magnetic energy that you're tapping into, whether you're doing it consciously or not. There's something in your heart center that's magnetizing, sort of like mirror energy towards you. This feels positive. It feels healthy. It feels healing. It feels uplifting, like it's leading to growth here with the greenery or the vines or whatever this is. It feels like growth energy coming through in your relationships. It feels, I'm just getting such a healing energy in my heart space, which is where that watery energy is coming through. Something cleansing, something that's not like before, or if you've ever experienced difficulties with, being vulnerable with people or just connections in general. It feels like if there was guards up, it feels like the Spirit's guiding you to open up to having positive experiences with people and connections and love and romance. If that's something that you're inviting in and desiring, this is coming in for you, or it's active within you right now, so it's there for you. Let's see what else comes up. God Source, for my pile number 2, what blessings are coming into their life imminently as they're watching this? I can feel my energy softening as I watch this. Okay, so we have the base chakra, root chakra energy showing up here. This talks about your security, just like the fundamental base needs of a human lie in the root chakra. Your feelings of safety. Maybe you've had sort of some instability within connections in the past, or within home situation or friendships or money. Maybe you just haven't felt fully secure uh, in a situation before, with where you can feel like you can put down roots. Maybe you felt like you're always getting up, what's the word, like just upheaval, like constantly cycling through different relationships, through different environments, workplaces. It could be a number of things, but I don't know. This feels like you can trust that things are starting to root down for you. Things are starting to solidify and stabilize, and you can trust that you can feel safe within yourself, within your environment, within the connections coming in. You can trust that people around you are trustworthy. Obviously, use your own discernment. Trust what your feelings are telling you. But if you feel that people around you do have good intentions, then it's okay to let them in. It's okay to allow yourself to feel safe in their presence, and safe in your own presence with people. What else wants to come through? God, for my pile number 2, what blessings are coming in for them right now? Wow, more connections. Rejoice in celebration. This is the 3 of Cups in traditional tarot. So yeah, again, that's just an affirmation of the people around you in your life, the community spaces that you enter. It's like you're in a frequency right now where you're attracting good people, good energy. If this wasn't your experience before, or if you've just sort of been jaded by the past, this is just for some of you who might have experienced some not so great energies. This is just saying, like, that's different. It's different now. Like, yeah, there's opportunity in these connections around you, in your environment. There's opportunity, I'm hearing. Opportunity to network, if that's something that you're interested in. Just networking around like your general field of interest. That could just be going to a community event. That could be, expressing to people the types of things that you're interested in. Maybe they could offer you a connection or something helpful, a lead on something, a lead on a job, a lead on some kind of opportunity. And just when it comes to like romantic relationships, friendships, this is just like flourishing, safe connection amongst you all. If you're looking to meet somebody special, it feels like you could be meeting them in a social context, going out, getting an invitation out. Maybe it's something that you normally wouldn't do or go to, but it's like, take the invitation, go out, take the leap, and celebrate life with other people, celebrate connection, celebrate this healing that you're going through, and knowing that you're safe in your own energy to have fun with others and not get compromised. God source, what else wants to come through as far as blessings for my pile number 2? Got 2 cards. We have fertility, which is the Empress card. And this also came out, material and spiritual prosperity, which is the 6 of Pentacles. So this is all really beautiful energy here. The 6 of Pentacles talks about reciprocal mutual exchange, a balanced exchange. What you give, you receive back. So, and with the water fountains here, this is like that emotional, watery energy flourishing. It's like you can feel safe to receive good things from others, because the people around you have something of value to offer you if you are open to it. And people will want to offer you positivity and abundance, because this is already an energetic space that you're embodying right now with the Empress energy showing up here. You know, this could mean that you're embodying and embracing your feminine energy. This could also just mean that you've been working on your frequency to the point where you're now in a much more grounded, positive, centered space within yourself. You're more secure in your own energy, and you're feeling more abundant and creative just in the energies that you're tapping into right now. And again, this isn't about like the amount of money that you have, or you know, I don't know, the kind of job that you have or whatever. This is just frequency. This is just energy that you're feeling. So this is really beautiful. Let's see. Before, I'm going to pull from my other deck for in a second. I just want to see what else wants to come through. Okay, the word Jamaica came through. I don't know why, but that might resonate for one of you, some of you. Jamaica. I'm seeing like those drums. The marimba is coming through. What else? Riviera just came through. Riviera, is that in France? I'm not sure. Sports. That's coming through for some of you. The violin, I'm hearing. These are just little messages that might resonate as confirmation for some of you. But if they're not resonating, obviously just disregard. January 1st, January 3rd, January 16th. The word frequency is coming through over and over. Frequency. Paternal. Something paternal. The father. Okay. Let's see what else wants to come through the tarot. We will be using the holographic Rider-Waite. So let's just give it a good shuffle. For my pile number 2, God, let's look at the blessings coming into their life. I'm seeing a cigar. Someone's father smoking cigars. As we pull the Emperor energy, that father energy coming through. Very interesting. So yeah, I was seeing someone's father smoking cigars. I don't know. It's giving me the energy. I'm getting the energy of like Cuba, Miami, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, something like that. Interesting. Golf. Blessings for my pile number 2, God. I'm hearing becoming more and more sure of yourself. That's really good. Hitting the target, I'm hearing. I'm seeing like archery and like pulling back and just hitting the target. Bullseye energy. And this almost kind of looks like a bullseye in a way. Trusting that when you let go, in order to hit the target, you have to let go, right? So trusting that you pulling your energy back into yourself and letting go is allowing your trajectory to go exactly where you need to go. That's coming through very powerfully. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups. Trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, flowing, relaxing into your feminine energy. We have the Fool. Wow. The Fool is all about trust, taking that blind leap into the unknown, into new energy, beginning a new journey with a sense of optimism and trust. You know, I don't know what everything's going to look like moving forward. I don't even know what my next step is going to look like. I'm just trusting that if I take a step, I will be rewarded. That's what's coming through. I can feel in the energy a lot of you are really going to appreciate hearing this confirmation. Because even if we are in a positive energy, it's good to hear this reflected back to us, right? It's affirmational and confirmational of a positive trajectory that we're on. It's positive reinforcement, and we need that, you know? We need to be acknowledged for doing a good job and for being in a positive energy. So blessings coming in for my pile number 2, God. Blessings coming in for my pile number 2. We have the 4 of Pentacles. This came out for pile number 1 quite strongly. This is that protective energy, you protecting your own resources, you understanding your own value and worth. So as in you're not giving it away freely, which, you know, when we're trusting and we're flowing, you know, and we were talking about being able to give and connect with people and be vulnerable and trust that it's safe. Maybe that you have been in this sort of overly protective stage with your energy where you've been sort of sitting on it. Whereas with pile 1, this energy felt very necessary and needed. For you, maybe this energy, it's like it served its purpose for a time as you've gone through your upgrading process and evolution. But it's kind of reminding you, don't hold on too tightly to your energy, because the whole point of upgrading and evolving your frequency, getting into that positive energy, is that so you can go back out into the world as this new version of yourself and share it, right? Otherwise, the evolution, there would be no point to it. I mean, there is a point to evolving your consciousness, you know, just your own personal journey, you and the divine. That is meaningful. But we're also here to share that with the world. We're here to share ourselves with the world, to be our truest expressions of God, so that we can inspire others to do the same. So this is just a reminder of where you're holding on too tight, potentially. It's good to have that protection in place, but because the Queen of Cups and the Fool are showing up under trust, it's like you do want to let go and surrender a little bit and just go for it and not hold on too tight. I'll pull one more card. Okay. And we have the Ace of Swords. Wow. That clarity, that understanding, that assuredness. I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm getting the answers that I need at the right time. I have what I need to forge ahead. I'm trusting that the right information, the right people, the right situations are coming in as divinely guided. This is deep spiritual understanding of where you're at and where you're coming from. So if you are kind of holding on and protecting your energy, you're very aware of this. And you're probably understanding, okay, I'm trying to kind of let go a little bit and open back up. Oh shoot, I was gonna look at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles. Once again, that mutual reciprocal energy. This is confirmation for you that you can trust those around you, that there's gonna be this balanced dance between the two of you, between you and life and the universe. You've done the work so that now the universe can really give you what you need, and you can give the universe what it needs in equal measure. Let's see here. Okay, I was hearing / seeing like Jaguar Panther, but then I was seeing car, so it could be Jaguar as in like the car Jaguar. That could resonate for somebody, but it feels like the Chariot energy, the car, like moving forward. Some of you might have had car issues, and maybe the car issues were sort of reflecting something within yourself that was in need of repair, or that was being blocked from fully moving forward in some way. but it feels like that energy is really moving forward. Let's see here. For some of you, the father energy could be relevant as far as like trust or lack of trust in your life with people and relationships. If we're talking about romantic relationships and you identify as the feminine energy, you could have had trust issues with men or the masculine because of father wounds potentially. Or you could have had like authority issues or something, just not trusting energy that like was strong and kind of controlling potentially. Or, well, in any case, it feels like you're learning how to trust the masculine energy again. Your feminine energy is like opening back up to this masculine energy. I talked about this with pile number 1. If you're interested, you can check it out. But yeah, it feels like the energies that you're going to be attracting, the masculine energies that you're going to be attracting, are safe, secure, and able to contain maturely and responsibly your feminine essence. So 11:11 on the timer as I said that. It's beautiful to see because masculine energy is so important to balance out the feminine, to support the feminine, and vice versa. So yeah, blessings coming in is just this flow of abundance with flourishing relationships, with safety around you being vulnerable, expressing your vulnerability, and experiencing masculine containment in a new way, and just allowing yourself to open up, to let go, to just go for it, to get out there, to show yourself, to communicate and express your truth. It just feels like safety is a big theme here for you, and like this expanding sense of safety for you, which is beautiful. The universe is really saying you're safe and protected. So next, we're going to be pulling from the Sacred Rebel Oracle deck. And we're going to get a message about blessings coming into your life. I told Pile 1 this, that I tend not to hyper-focus on 3D details because we're talking about energy here. And the way that energy can play out can look very different for everybody. But we're talking about like the root fundamental energetic causes of things, and starting at the foundational level. So the experiences and things that you engage with in your life those come from like, how open are we, how healed are we, how much do we trust, how is our relationship with ourselves, where are we closed off, where are we open, that type of thing. So that's what we're looking at today, and this is obviously going to like apply differently to all the different people watching, and I appreciate all of you for being here, by the way. Thank you. So pile number 2, let's see what wants to come out as far as blessings for you from the divine, coming in imminently as you're watching this. I mean, God, look at this. Can't make this up. Trust and trust. You are on a trust journey, my friend, which is beautiful because it's bringing you closer and closer with the divine source. When you're truly aligned with the divine source, there's nothing but trust, because you understand that everything is God. You understand that you are God, that your thoughts, that your emotions, all the energy running through your system, your physical body, your environment, the people around you, it's all God in motion. And your emotions themselves are God in motion. So if something is feeling not right, you can trust that. If something does feel safe, if something does feel inviting and open and vulnerable and available, that's God telling you, hey, this is an open door. It's okay. You can interact with this. It's beautiful. Wow. Trust your own wisdom. Trust your calling. Trust the breadcrumbs, where it's all leading you. Trust the ways in which you're choosing to show up on a day-to-day basis. Trust your own voice. Trust that you being you is having a positive effect on those around you. That you being the light that you are creates a ripple effect. You're positively affecting the people directly around you, and they're taking that energy and paying that forward, even unconsciously. Sometimes people don't always know that you're positively affecting them, but they take that with them into their own lives. Whether you're interacting with people at work or school or within your family, your community, your light makes a difference. You can trust that. You can trust that just everything about you is God in motion, like I was saying. This is powerful affirmation for you that you can do this, that you're doing the right things, that you can take it easy on yourself and just be like, I got this. We're good. God's got me. I am God. God is me. It's all one, ultimately. You are just a unique expression of this God energy. Trust everything that's led up to this point in your life. Trust that it was feeding a larger purpose, even if there was some uncomfortable growth and trials and tribulations along the way, that it was all getting you to this point of awareness that you're at now, where you can truly make a difference with your energy and your presence. It's incredible. So now, and lastly, I'm going to pull an Angel Answers Oracle card. So let's center that, and we'll see for my pile number 2, God, what final message wants to come out regarding the blessings coming in. Wow. There it is. Romance. Flourishing emotion between people, 2 souls. Gosh, this is beautiful. I can feel it deeply. I hope you can feel it deeply. I feel for many of you that you already are aware of this energy active within yourself, even if that person isn't in your physical reality yet. You can feel it. You know it's there. You can tap into it. It's almost like you know this person already. You can feel their energy. You can feel the safety that this person creates in your heart. And it's because the souls are already linked up. The souls are already aligned. It's not about the 3D. The souls have the 3D covered. You already have what you need here, which is the soul link. And the person, if they're not already in your reality, which for some of you, they might be there, and it's like you can trust that they're there. You can trust the development of this connection. But for others of you, if they're not there yet, you can trust the soul link that's already there, and trust that you're already with them. It's already done. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to, manifest, because it's already connected. You've already been linked up. That deal's already been made, right? So it's just about softening and opening up to that so that the energies can fully flow together. Because if there's guards or walls in the way, the flow of love has a harder time sort of getting around those walls. So it's just like when you let the walls down, they can just sort of come together. And maybe you're going through a process with other people, or you've gone through a process with other people where, you've sort of been made to see your walls where they are so that you can let them down a little bit. But whatever person's coming in for you, it just feels very easeful and safe and beautiful and connected to the divine. Whether or not they're spiritual, it feels like there's this spiritual energy shared between you that both of you can feel. So just because somebody might not know all of the spiritual lingo and concepts that you might, they can still feel that energy. This is universal, you know? Nobody's immune to the divine because we're all divine beings. They can feel it, that warmth, that light that is shared. And you certainly can. And there's a cosmic purpose to this connection, to you and this person connecting. It's to expand the frequency of love. You're acting and serving as a beacon of love for the divine, an example of love for the other people around both of you. This is powerful. There's a purpose to this. So just settle knowing that all is well with relationships coming in. It's meant for you. You can trust it. You can fully invest and connect with it. It's really beautiful. So that was your message today about the blessings coming in. I know we were just looking at general energies, but I will be doing more of these and touching on different things for all of you. I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Again, I am putting information about personal readings down in the description. So if you're interested in getting in touch and connecting, I would love to meet you, connect, and have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye. Hi there, Pile 3. So you chose the Angelite stone here with the... Ooh, shit. With the Pulp Tarot here. So today we're going to be asking about the blessings coming into your life imminently as you're watching this video. So we'll get to these in a moment, but first we're going to pull from the Prism Oracle here and kind of set the tone with the energies that want to come through for you as far as blessings coming in. So, God, for my pile number 3, let's tune into the energies and see what blessings are coming through for them right now. Okay, so we have the Balance card. It's interesting because as I was meditating on your pile, I heard the phrase war and peace. So 111 on the timer, that can talk about a push-pull dynamic, yin and yang, black and white, give and take, just duality, right? So maybe in your life right now, you're experiencing duality as far as like your light aspects, your shadow aspects, positive experiences, negative experiences, things that feel good, things that don't. Maybe as you're still experiencing sort of like people that you don't want to interact with, but you're also experiencing people that you do want to interact with. So it's like creating this sort of kind of integration of two polarities, maybe one that you're wanting to release and one that you're wanting to invite in. Or maybe if you've only been focused on the light, you're experiencing some of your own shadow, and learning how to honor and accept that and love that so that you can create balance for yourself. 222 on the timer. So that's where we're starting. But also with this card, as far as blessings coming into your life, it definitely feels like you're, with the green here, I don't know, it's making me think of money and abundance. It's like, if you've been worried about money, I feel that that is going to be coming into balance here soon, if not already. meaning any money that you've lost will be regained, any money that you've spent will be replenished. And I don't know, I'm just getting sort of a reciprocal energy coming through, but let's see what wants to come through the tarot here. Once again, we're using the Pulp Tarot for you guys. So God, for my pile number 3, what blessings are coming in for them imminently as they're watching this video? What blessings are coming in, God of the highest white light, of the highest love and truth, for the highest good of my pile number 3 and the collective? What blessings are coming through for them? Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords, and we have the 8 of Swords. Interesting. I like the blessings coming in. I like this kind of reading because you can always frame it in a positive way. So no matter what cards come out, this is about what's supporting you in your journey right now. What's gonna feel good coming in, right? Too many. God, what's coming in for my pile number 3? Okay. We have the King of Wands. What's coming in for my pile number 3, Spirit? Blessings coming in. Whoa. Ooh, we have the 6 of Wands. We'll start with these. Okay, let's see here. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. Okay, so also when I was meditating on your pile, I was seeing what looked like a hammerhead shark, if you've ever seen those. Kind of scary looking, but of course beautiful creatures in their own right. With the phrase war and peace. So, I don't know, with the 4 and 8 of Swords showing up here, and even with this King of Wands, I was feeling sort of an energy like this. Like, you know, the hammerhead shark has that kind of like the head that could like ram into something. So with the 4 of Swords showing up next to the 8 of Swords, maybe it feels like you were trying to make something happen that wasn't happening and you felt stuck or trapped somehow. And now it's like you're almost giving up on trying, and you're just sort of resting. And maybe this giving up energy is a good thing in this situation. But definitely rest and healing, contemplation, meditation is coming through. Tranquility and peace. 8 of Swords isn't the most tranquil, peaceful card because, you know, you're feeling limited and trapped and contained by your own sort of mental fears and anguish. So I don't know, maybe it's like you're learning how to get out of your own head, out of your own way, and maybe you're learning how to meditate more. Maybe you're learning how to, you know, calm down the overactive mental space. And maybe you're learning how to take a break and learning how to rest. Maybe you're coming into a time where you're going to be afforded rest. Maybe the universe is forcing you into a situation where you have to rest. That's for some of you. For others of you, maybe you felt like nothing's been happening for a long time and you felt trapped, you felt stagnant and stuck, like you've been meditating, you've been, you know, zen, you've been still, and now it's kind of like, okay, I've done that. Like, I feel stuck, I feel trapped. You're always in your own head, you're overthinking things, you're waiting for things to happen, and maybe now you're learning how to take action here with the Wands energy, which is about action and will and energy and movement. And with the King of Wands next to the Six of Wands, maybe it's like, you know that you're meant for greatness. You know that you're meant to be appreciated, recognized, honored, and seen for who you are, for what you can do, for your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your presence, your energy, your charisma. King of Wands, extremely charismatic, confident, sexy, attractive, magnetic energy here. Six of Wands can talk about being in the spotlight somehow, or, you know, getting a promotion, or just really being recognized for who you are and how you're showing up in your environment. So maybe it's like you're coming out of this like rest period where like maybe you've been stuck in your own head, and now it's like, now is the time for action. This will resonate for another group of you. And that message is kind of feeling like more of you will be coming out of this sort of mental stuckness and moving into action, divinely inspired action, and that's creating a balance in your life. For others of you, maybe you're learning how to balance rest and action simultaneously. Like, maybe some of you are wanting to work out and you're wanting to do it every single day because you're thinking, oh, I got to do this. I got to build my strength. I got to have muscle. I got to lose weight, whatever it is. But it's like, you also have to remember that rest is a equally important part of that process. And maybe your own mental thoughts and insecurities are making you think that you have to overly put in the action without kind of the balance here of taking a rest. This is going to apply differently to everybody. Take it how it fits. But because we're talking about balance here, we're needing to understand two sides of the same coin, right? So things aren't just one way. Interesting here too, how we have two swords on one side and two wands on the other. Cards sort of about stillness and stuckness, and cards about action and like being out and about, out there. Maybe you would identify as like an extroverted introvert. Maybe, you know, you're introvert, but it's like maybe you're not going out enough and like allowing yourself to be seen. Maybe it's time to get out there and be seen for your true self, because people would really appreciate who you are clearly. Like, you got something magical. Like, you've got this it factor that people appreciate. Maybe you've been protecting that. Maybe you've been scared to show that. Maybe you've been scared to fully step into your power because maybe part of you is afraid of the responsibility of success, the responsibility of being seen and recognized and appreciated, the attention that garners, you know? But maybe you're kind of realizing, okay, I have to kind of get out of my own way here and fulfill my destiny, fulfill what I am good at, fulfill this role that I came here to fulfill. Because, you know, sitting around and doing nothing, you know, you just get more of that. Unless, again, depending on your situation, unless you've been kind of too in the spotlight and too much, you know, taking action and making things happen, and like too much sort of energy, and you're kind of needing a break because maybe this is intense and it's causing you to overthink, and you need to kind of like take care of your mental health and just take it down a few notches. Again, this is applying differently for everybody. Can't stress it enough. But whatever the case may be for you specifically watching, you're being asked to consider balance and moderation and maybe checking yourself and saying, okay, where have I been? What energy have I been in too much? Where am I needing to kind of step outside of that and kind of try out a different flavor of life, kind of test my skills differently, put my gifts to the test, really in an out there sort of way. Yeah. So that's the initial energy showing up for you. Let's pull more tarot. I'm going to use my holographic tarot Rider-Waite deck. And we're going to look at the blessings coming in for you. Yeah, I'm getting for a lot of you, it's like you like to hit the ground running. You like to go. You like to make things happen. You like to, see the action that you take yield results. That's very satisfying and fulfilling for some of you, I'm feeling. But it's like, at the same time, you have to honor your spiritual, emotional, mental health as far as like what needs to be replenished, what needs to be nourished, what needs to be, sort of taken care of, like tender loving care. What do you need to fill up your tank? Because even with all of that energy moving for some of you, it's like that can be a lot of stimulation that can affect the mental space in a way that kind of can be ungrounding for some. But others of you, it's really time to get moving, like I was saying. But let's see. Okay, God, for my pile number 3, what blessings are coming in imminently? It definitely feels like success is meant for you, no matter what, the situation may be with the balance, which is coming through. You've got it. You're meant for good, big things. Okay, King of Pentacles, another king energy. You do have a very powerful energy. You're abundant, you're magnetic, you can get what you need. Or if you haven't identified in that way previously, it's like you're stepping into this space within yourself. That's coming through. That's already kind of showing up in your frequency. Let's see what else. Paint me a picture, Spirit, of the blessings coming through for my pile number 3. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about change, shifting energies, the wheel turning in your favor. Good luck, good fortune, sort of destiny, the divine hand of fate, the wheel of fate, kind of turning outside of your immediate control. So like I said before, maybe in some of your situations, the universe is sort of forcing you to shift from one side of things to the other to create that balance. Maybe that's making some of you feel out of control. But I'm really feeling and hearing it's a good thing, and to not let your mind get the better of you and trick you into thinking that something's wrong, you're doing something wrong, you're being sabotaged by the universe, or you're being messed with somehow. It's like really trusting that whatever's happening is creating balance in your life. As long as you're listening to your body, and not the mind. Listening to your emotion, well, not always listening to your emotions, processing and feeling your emotions, but listening to your body, because your body, with the King of Pentacles here, that's the physical 3D realm, like your body really communicating to you where it needs that balance and sort of that attention care on the flip side of where you haven't been investing as much energy or presence. The blessings coming in, but also money is looking really good. So like windfalls, the King of Pentacles with Wheel of Fortune's like windfall energy, abundance, like inheritance, like lottery, just a positive outlook on finances, stability, home life, having enough. Feels like you have enough. Blessings coming in. Wow, 10 of Swords. Okay, so with this change, it's going to ask you to put an end to a certain belief or a certain way of thinking. With the Swords, it's about the mental space, right? So it's beliefs and thought patterns. Putting an end to something. Maybe if you're a person who's always like, I have to be doing something, I have to be always out there, it's like, well, that's not sustainable. I can't always be doing something. I can't always be pushing. I can't always be in the spotlight, whatever it might be for you. It's like the mentality that you have to be one thing is ending. And it might come through in a not comfortable way, potentially. You know, I think about sometimes when someone's a workaholic and all they can do is work, and then they get really sick because it's all catching up with them and hitting them at once. I'm not saying this is going to happen to you or to scare anybody or anything like that, but I'm just using that as an example of how the universe and our bodies respond to when things are out of balance, when we're putting too much energy into one area of our life and neglecting another area of our life. And again, this is all through the lens of blessings coming in. So whatever mental pattern is ending for you because of like the universe and your body communicating with you, it's a good thing. It's helping you, it's serving you, it's giving you what you want, and it's allowing you to become more abundant in other ways that maybe you weren't aware that you could be abundant in certain ways. Let's see what else. Spirit, give us more about the blessings coming in from our pile number 3. Okay, so we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is all about hard work, continuous work, repetitious work. So this is touching on, for those of you who are workaholics, who do just work, go, this is just confirmation of that energy coming through for you, of your constant need to be working or to be like proving yourself, showing up, and maybe neglecting rest. This is constant work. So maybe this is something that needs to kind of end, is this just constant, almost like maybe you're avoiding something else through working, or maybe, you know, you're avoiding certain emotions that want to come up because of working. This is just for some of you. For others of you, with the King of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, it is saying, if you've been too much in sort of a stagnant, stuck, nothing happening, rest mode, overthinking mode, just kind of being in your own head and not really taking action, this is definitely saying to become okay stepping out into the physical world, work into the workplace, into, you know, whatever field you choose to be working in, and actually putting in the time and effort and energy into building something. Because what's showing up is, if once you do that, once you step out of the mental space here, you have a solid foundation to build upon. Like, you have something to offer, you have something to give and to show and to be appreciated for, and to learn too. It's like you're learning and growing and building through that process of putting in the effort. So it's funny because we're hitting on two sides of the same coin here, and the inverse, just for the different people watching here, but it's all kind of stuttering here. It's all touching on just balance. I find it interesting how I just stuttered. Maybe for some of you, it's like you're just so go that it's like you kind of like trip over your thoughts sometimes. Or maybe you're too in your head that you're tripping over your thoughts because you're not present, or you're not grounded. So it's like you're kind of up in the air and your words aren't coming out clearly for some of you. And also, I just want to say that none of this is judgment. None of this is, you know, shaming. This is all literally just energy. We're looking at energy, and energy isn't good or bad. It's just about how you decide the energy serves you or doesn't serve you. And obviously, if you're watching a tarot reading, you're open to sort of insight and guidance and confirmation, clarity, and all of that. So it feels like you're open to just seeing yourself and seeing. And if this is not resonating, then you know you probably would have clicked off the video a little while ago. But if you're still here and this is sort of resonating with you, you know, I'm feeling that there's an understanding that there's something to gain here, because we're talking about the blessings in your life, right? And for some of you, like, there's an understanding that working is a blessing. Putting physical energy into something, pouring that into something that you care about, or just your abundance, that is worthwhile. That is a blessing in and of itself. And it creates balance for you, because when we're too in the mind space and sort of zen and meditating, it's like nothing's really happening and moving. We live in a 3D physical dimension where you have to take that action and work and like apply effort in order to, and it doesn't have to be like a ton of effort, but just applying enough to utilize what the tools that we have here in the physical dimension in order to create shifts and movement and success for you, which it feels like the energy is guiding you towards, like success and abundance and good fortune, good luck and happiness. It just involves the ending of like a certain way of operating, if that's the only way you've been operating in. So, okay. Let's see. Next, we're going to pull from the Sacred Rebel Oracle deck here. God, for my pile number 3, let's look at the blessings coming in for them imminently as they're watching this, God. Thank you so much. What do they need to see right now as far as blessings coming in? Okay, we have faith in the process. So again, it kind of touches on what I was saying about like your awareness about this and like your openness to shift and to make adjustments to improve. It feels like you trusting all of this and trusting the guidance that's coming in for you is a huge blessing. And you're allowing yourself to shift and balance out because you care about yourself and you care about what's right. You know, I would assume that if you're putting in too much effort, if you're a workaholic, you do care about what's right. You care about doing things the right way. But maybe, you know, just putting your focus and energy onto the other aspects of yourself, it's like that might be a blind spot that you appreciate, like getting that like guidance and like refocus back to that. And you're just being asked to trust this process that you're in of rebalancing and trusting that whatever sort of like changes or whatever endings are happening with certain patterns, certain behaviors, that it's all just happening. There's a higher purpose to it, right? Like I said before, the universe is all about balance. So when things are out of balance, something completely opposite will come through to sort of counterbalance everything, pull it back to center. So if that's what's happening, and if it feels uncomfortable or even painful here with the Ten of Swords, just know that there's a divine plan here, and that you are working on yourself. You're constantly working on yourself. You're a human being who's, you know, open to growing and improving, and you're wanting to be the best version of yourself, right? With the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, it's like you're committed to yourself. That's what this feels like. So it's like even if something comes along that feels jarring or destabilizing in some way, just trust that it's happening for you. And I know that might be hard to hear depending on the different circumstances in all of your lives. You know, shit is shit. Like, you can't dress it up and make it look better than it is. You have to just say, okay, this sucks. That is true. So we're not going to spiritually bypass here. But it is still to say that even through shit, or even through an ending, or even through discomfort or change, or like realignment, it's like there is something good happening. There is something bigger at play. And it's important to connect with your divine source here. She's praying. And, you know, trust your guides, trust those like inklings, those little intuitions that you have that might be saying, slow down, or get back out there. It's time to stop thinking about everything too hard, you know? Like, trust those little voices that come to you, because they're there to help you. They're messengers of God. You know, you watching this reading is you receiving a message from God. So, okay, that's that. I'm going to finally pull from the Angel Answers Oracle deck here, and we'll just get a quick final message about the blessings coming in. I've been telling Pile 1 and 2 this as well. On my channel here, I tend to focus more on the energy and the emotional foundation of things, the mental foundation of things, because that's where all of your earthly experiences stem from, right? These are general readings, so we're looking at overarching energies. I'm not getting too nitty gritty on the 3D details, but these energies and the awareness of these energies is going to positively affect your 3D life if you're applying them in a balanced and aligned way with your own soul. Of course, if these messages are resonating. So, for my pile number 3, God, let's get a final message about the blessings coming in. Okay, within the next few weeks. So, it feels like whatever change and shift is happening, it's kind of like imminent. Like, you kind of know that you need to make a change soon. You know, some of you might feel like you would go crazy if you didn't make a change soon. Like, if you were stuck in bed all day, every day, like, you would feel like you would go crazy if you didn't, like, take that step out and start, you know, showing up and being seen, putting yourself out there. For some of you, if you've been too out there, too energized, it's like you feel like you would go crazy if you didn't take a break, or maybe you'd have a breakdown. It's like there's an energy of like, okay, you're being guided here to really pay attention and start making those shifts now, so that maybe you could potentially avoid something that's really not great here. So like, take a rest. You know, again, different for everybody, but let's see here. Community is coming through with this card. So seeking out guidance, seeking out mentors, seeking out support from people who are nourishing to you, who can support you and your vision and just who you are, not even what you do, but just people who support who you are and who love you for who you are. It feels like they can offer some guidance and wisdom as well. Maybe you already have people telling you, like, get out there, go, you can do it, or slow down, take it easy, take a rest. Yeah, pay attention to those around you and feel the support from them, you know? Because I feel that many of you do have that support available if you look, if you tap in. But yeah, it feels like the next month or so is going to be big as far as like creating some shifts and inviting in this balance in your life so that you can really feel okay, you know? And this feels like a huge blessing right now. Again, we're just talking about the imminent blessings. We're not looking at your whole life right now. We're just looking at what you need to hear right now for your highest good. And these shifts and changes and letting things go and creating balance, that is all a blessing. So I really hope these messages resonated. If they did, I would love you to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. I'm putting information about personal readings down in the description below. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye.